wins as both teams eager to win, eager to get as many both teams eager to get as many wins as they can to hopefully get a playoff spot. Both teams eager to get as many wins as they can to hopefully get a playoff spot.
Share anchor. Share anchor. Anchor.
Ay, oo nga no. Hindi, wait lang. Ay, oo nga. Oo nga. Oo nga. So, mali pala kanina. Dapat pala dito ka kanina. Ah, nagkakalituhan na. We head into our second game on this Saturday, and we are still live from Niagara Industrial in Caloocan City. We now move forward to feature the 16 under action from the South Division as we continue the live coverage of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And for our games today, 3 games for 14 under, 16 under, and 18 under division. We also have 21 under action as well later in the afternoon, so better stay tuned. But for now, 16 under division between Dasmariñas and Bauan. Good morning, everybody. The name is Chong Pangilinan, covering the action with Daphne Cristobal. And Daphne, talking about both teams eager to get as many wins as they can to hopefully get a playoff spot down the stretch.
And so far, medyo nakakalahati na nga sila dito. So a lot of games were already played by both of these teams, but they're coming from a different story. Diba? Etong kita naman natin coming from a loss. Etong Bauan Cafe Uno, but they got 1 month, more than a month to prepare for this game. Meanwhile, for Team Dasmariñas, coming from a win, and for sure, gusto talaga nilang i-maintain yung panalo na yun.
And since you've mentioned it, pag-usapan na natin first, Dasmariñas getting a W against Binyan City Tatakgel.
Ito, kita natin dito for Team Dasmariñas. They won with a score of 84-52, dominating all of the departments. And makita naman natin dito from the fast break points, grabe yung dominance sa pinakita nila with 23 compared dun sa 8 na pinakita dito ng Binyan Tatakgel. And they also limited the opposition to only 10 points in the third and the fourth quarter. So that was a really big move on the side of Team Dasmariñas.
And talking about Bauan, sabi mo nga, it's a different story for them. They lost a big-time loss against the Palawan Hurich Builders.
Ito nga ang Bauan Cafe Uno. Although they lost or fell short on that game, we also saw na higit isang buwan nga silang nakapag-prepare going etong sa larong ito. And we also saw from Bauan Cafe Uno, it was Chris Dalaten who still scored 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist on that game. And wait lang, babalikan ko lang, Cho, etong si David Legaspi for Team Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo Hoops against Team Binyan. He scored 12 points, almost a double-double performance for him, and 9 rebounds with 2 assists, 1 steal, and the 1 block. So, itong dalawang players ito, si Legaspi as well as itong si Dalaten, sila din yung mga, kumbaga, inaasahan ng teams nila na mag-step up ulit on this game.
Definitely, as Dasmariñas having a 2-3 record. Ito namang Bauan, 2-4. Both teams having that losing record. And again, both teams eager to get as many wins as they can to hopefully get a playoff spot down the stretch. But now, let's turn it over to our venue announcer, Mr. Denzel Santiago.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Junior MPBL fans. Welcome to Niagara Industrial Court here in Caloocan City. This is the Season 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. The second basketball action continues between the 16 under of Dasmariñas, Pacundo, 4A Hoops, and Bauan, Cafe Uno. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now, it's time to meet the starters from your Dasmariñas, Pacundo, 4A Hoops. Guard number 10, John Russell Cernias. Also guard number 5, CJ Casillejo. Forward number 11, Ivan Zimasayaw. Also forward number 1, David Legaspi. Playing center number 23, John Cyrus Bartolome. Head coach of Dasmariñas, Facundo, for AU's JP Hilario. Assisted by Jordan Borados. Team manager, Ryan Zalosa. Team owner, Mr. Alvi Guanse, Mr. Ryan Zalosa. And now it's time to meet the starters from your Bauan Cafe Uno. Guard number 22, Oyo Dolor. Also guard number 20, Jonel Esombo. Forward number 20, Zakio Chris Zalotsen. Also forward number 4, Joaquin Andres Angeles. Playing center number 10, John Mark Martin. Head coach of Bauan Cafe Uno, Henry Montemayor, assisted by Odin Zebera. Team manager, RJ Dolor. Team owners,
For our Dorite Bola ng Pinoy team starters, for Bauan, we have Dolor and Stomo at the guard, Delante and Angeles at the forward, and the guy at the middle, Martin. For Dasmariñas, for the guards, we have Cernias and Castilleo. For the forwards, Dimasayo and Legaspi. And at the center position, John Cyrus Bartolome. And again, just like what Daphne said, different stories for both of these teams. Itong Dasma coming from a win, hopefully looking to continue their streak. Ito namang Bauan looking to bounce back as they lost big time against Palawan. It looks like possession will go to Bauan.
So, during the 14 under, we saw kanina, quality game agad ang binigay nila sa atin dito. Let's see if they can duplicate that here in the 16 under.
Well, again, it's almost the same story because both teams, just like their 14 under counterparts, eager to get a playoff spot as the season almost going to an end as we're already in the middle of it. But right now, first bucket of the ball game belonging to Dasmariñas.
Bartolome with that spin. Easy bucket for him.
Meanwhile, make that 4 points in a row, 4-0 run. This time it's Dimasayaw scoring for Dasma.
Strong start we are seeing here for the white shirts, making sure to utilize every possession.
And they indeed do that as it's 6-0 now.
So that's it.
Still no bucket on the side of Bauan. And make that 8-0. What a run it has been for Dasmariñas. Make that 8-0 with less than a minute gone by in our first period. But now a nature spring timeout forced to be called by Bauan Cafe Uno. back to the action right here. Again, it's 8-0 as Dasmariñas able to start a fire right now. And a steal by Sernias, able to save it. But it goes out of bounds, possession with Bauan as they'll have a chance to get a first bucket for their team. Meanwhile, tapped away by Legazpi, out of bounds, possession still with Bauan, Cafe Uno.
You know, from that last sequence, we just saw how organized and determined itong team Dasmariñas to have another victory.
Definitely you can see the initiative. Meanwhile, first bucket of the ball game is a 3, courtesy of Sakeo Chris Dalatin. Make that 8-3, 5-point gap. Sernias sends it to the other wing. Di Masayaw behind the back move, sends it out. Bartolome back to Di Masayaw for 3. That won't fall. Bartolome offensive board. Another try. That goes in for him.
It's another basket coming from Bartolome.
Bartolome so far 4 points in this ball game. Di Masayaw to Sernias. He attacks. He scores.
You're seeing how clean yung movement dito ng white shirts.
Meanwhile, Dalatin. That won't go. He tried it off the glass. 9-point lead for Dasmariñas. That goes out of bounds. Again, it's 12-3. 9-point lead for Dasmariñas. As possession still with them. Di Masayaw out to Sernias as they take their time. Di Masayaw at the right wing. Now it's at the right corner. Castillejo, not that time.
He was well guarded from that shot, although ang ganda sana ng cut niya doon.
So still with them. Baseline inbound. Di Masayaw trying to find Legazpi. Will find Castillejo instead. Or rather, it's Sernias. Now it's Bartolome for 3. That won't hit anything. So possession back to Bauan Cafe Uno.
That was a short shot for Bartolome, but we do know that every time he's inside the paint, baga nagiging easy bordering na lang yun sa kanya.
Castillejo for 3. That is short. He gets it back. Castillejo once again. Still won't go for CJ. Meanwhile, they get it back. Sernias inside. Di Masayaw once again. Dasmariñas.
So everyone from Team Dasmariñas really trying to contribute in the scoring board.
Legazpi able to nab a steal for his squad. Legazpi, tough shot. Able to nab himself a foul. So that's 2 freebies coming up.
And so far, it's going to be a challenge for Bauan Cafe Uno on how they would match the intensity which Team Dasmariñas is really trying to portray here.
So far, John Russell Sernias 6 points already. As first free throw is good for David Mark Legazpi. Second one on its way. Roughly 4 minutes gone by in our first period. Dolor, long pass to Martin. He attacks the lane. Drop pass. They able to convert.
Much needed point there for the black shirts. This time coming from Estomo.
Castillejo out to Sernias. Now it's Di Masayaw. They pass it around the arc. Back to Sernias. He fires for 3. That is short. They get it back though. Di Masayaw fades away. That is good. Meanwhile, they're able to get a steal once again. Castillejo, misdirection. Oh, mumbo jumbo. And that is no good. As Legazpi, another trip to the free throw line for him.
Getting it, trying to get it in the second attempt, but that will be a foul. So, natin kung mako-convert din na lang yung puntos this time from the free throw area. Just like that, it's now yung lamang nga dito ng Team Dasmariñas is already at 12.
So Legazpi will miss that freebie. as we're nearing the half-minute mark. 0 out of 2 for David Legaspi. Meanwhile, Bauan, a chance to minimize the lead. Wait to get it back. Dapilaga pulls up. That is good off the glass. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bauan, they settle for a mid-range jumper. That is good. Courtesy this time of Gabriel Dia.
And so far, 3 players already trying to contribute here on the side of the black shirts.
Meanwhile, Castillejo, this time it's Dapilaga, back to Castillejo. He fires one up. Unable to hit it though. The battle for the board ends up with the Latin. Long pass, foiled by Dapilaga as he gets it back. He brings it down, sends it to Bartolome. Tough shot, doesn't matter, will go in anyway for Bartolome.
It seems like everything is just really working out well here for Bartolome every time he's inside the paint. Except for, of course, yung 3-point attempt niya nga kanina. Pero he's very effective dun sa ilalim.
Meanwhile, good. One-hander. Won't go for good. As here comes Castillejo off that Bartolome pass. Castillejo sidestep. Unable to convert. Still with them. Legaspi attacks. Still won't fall for Dasma.
Ganda sana ng mga nagiging attempts dito ng white shirts, but the finish,
no good from Zaqueo the Latin. As here comes Dapilaga. Attacking, scoops it up, unable to put it in. On the other side, good. Brings it down for Bauan. Attacks the lid. Oh, what a pass, what a move from Good to Martin.
great sidestep there from Good. And Martin was just there.
To make that 21-9. Meanwhile, Di Masaya will settle for a 3. Unable to connect. Picked up by Angeles for the board. Hands it off to the Latin. 3 minutes remaining. The Latin hands it off. Ends up with Good. Fires a 3. That is no good. Dapilaga sends it out. Castillejo waits for his teammates. Dapilaga once again. Castillejo. Now it's Bartolome out to Dapilaga at the wing. Finds Castillejo. Inside, Bartolome crashing his way. One-hander, that is good off the glass. And Bartolome already having 8 points in this quarter so far.
Imagine, 8 points already just here in the first quarter. Grabing impact agad yung binigay niya dito para sa Dasmariñas.
So we head into the last 2 minutes of our first period. It's 23-9. It's a 14-point lead, as that'll be no good from Ravilo. Meanwhile, Dia handles the letter for Bauan. Against Tamayo, sends it out. Good with the leather. Still with Good. Almost losing it, picked up by his teammate. Good will fire from deep. That is good.
Much needed 3-point shot there, courtesy of Good. We saw a while ago how he was also trying to contribute from the assist, but this time in the scoring department.
Meanwhile, Dapilaga sends it out. Still with Dasma. Long pass, now Ravilo. Back to Dapilaga. He attacks. Unable to put it in. Meanwhile, Good directing the offense, sends it to Dia. The pick from Angeles, picked up by Tamayo. Back to Angeles, he fires a 3. That won't go. Rebound by Ravilo. And here comes Dapilaga for Dasmariñas, asking for a pick. Now it's Tamayo at the right wing. Dapilaga up top, now to Ravilo at the left wing, firing a 1 and will hit 1. Meanwhile, Martin on the other side. Fearless drive for him. Will get a foul. So that'll be 2 freebies coming up for John Mark Martin.
Ngayon, nahihirapan na itong Bauan Cafe Uno na humabol dun sa intensity nga na pinapakita dito ng white shirts.
Take another look on that 3-point bomb coming from Charles Andre Ravelo, as it'll be John Mark Martin at the free throw line. Will miss that first free throw. As you see Coach Henry Montemayor leading the boys of Bauan, hopefully for a W. As that's 1 out of 2 for Martin. 31 seconds remaining. Tamayo takes its time. Tamayo attacks the lane. Tamayo, one-hander, that is good. That is Odwin Daniel Tamayo contributing 2 points. Meanwhile, good save. Ravelo, what a pass. Unselfish plays coming from Dasmariñas.
Great execution there on the side of Team Dasmariñas. Ganong movement kasi it would really challenge the defenders.
So Tamayo don't want to bring it out as Dasmariñas gaining possession. 1 second remaining. Fires one up, and that won't go as we end our first period right here. Dasmariñas lighting it up early in this ball game. It's 30-13. Big time lead for Dasmariñas as they're looking to continue their winning ways, looking to make it 2 straight. As we shall take a break and wait for the start of our second period.
Junior MPBL would like to thank the following sponsors. Doray, Bola ng Pinoy, the official ball of Junior MPBL. Pound for pound, Biliga Renzi. Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Don Benitos, Pambansang Masaba. Jinkies Kid, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active for quality sportswear.
Back to the action right here in Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL for the start of the second period between Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo Hoops, and Bauan Cafe Uno. It's 30-13. And so far, it has been Dasmariñas dictating the pace of this ball game.
And that's how you really want to open things up, especially if you came from a win. Doon yung gigil mo rin na maintain yung panalo na meron kayo from that last game. So that strong start natin kung ma-maintain nila yan dito sa ating second quarter and all throughout the quarters.
And that is indeed the golden question. Will they be able to maintain this type of basketball? And will they be consistent with this pace? As Good has it. A bunch of crossovers, sends it to the corner, back to Good. He fires one up, he sends it home.
And so I'd say it's also an advantage on the side of the white shirts, knowing na ang dami nilang players na present ngayon compared dito sa Bauan Cafe Uno. I'd say it's only 10 man who are present here. Kaya konti lang din yung mababalasan na players si Coach Henry.
Definitely that's a big factor, a big advantage for Dasmariñas as Tamayo hits one from deep and Ravelo will miss. Meanwhile, they get it back. Tapilaga sends it to Tamayo. How about the 3? Tamayo back to Tapilaga. Another try from deep. That won't hit. They tap it outside. It's back with them. Tamayo from 3 once again. Still won't go for Dasmariñas.
And we saw how Team Dasmariñas was also trying to get all of those offensive rebounds.
Meanwhile, Schwan won't go for him, as that is 2 misses coming from Good and Schwan. Meanwhile, Tamayo picks it up, sends it to the corner. They attack the lane, another kick out. This time it's Tamayo, mid-range jumper. Won't connect. Still with them, the Pilaga one-hander still won't fall as it will stay with Dasmariñas.
You know what, Cho, I'm starting to wonder what's with that ring. Kasi even though the 14 under talaga, medyo nag-struggle sila dun sa ring. Di ko alam kung sobrang tigas ba, na parang lumalabas din yung bola eh.
That is no good coming from Ravilo. Meanwhile, it's 33-16. Big time lead for Dasmariñas. Dia stops, losing the leather. Sends it out. Dalatin against Shadare. Dalatin inside, tough shot. That won't go, good defense from Shadare. The Pilaga, long pass. Tamayo. Thought about the three, sends it to Shadare. Tough shot, that won't go. And here they come, Dolor to good. The spin, back to Dolor. Now it's Schwan, this time it's Dia for three. And that won't connect. The Pilaga not wasting any time. No good on that jumper. Fast-paced offense being showcased by both teams. But looks like a nature sprint timeout going to be called by Coach Henry as they're down by a bunch under 7 minutes remaining in our second period. Back to the action right here, it's 33-16. Again, Dasmariñas up by a bunch. Under 7 minutes remaining in our second period. Dalatin, no good. Out of bounds, possession back to Dasmariñas.
Still Dasmariñas on a comfortable lead. And that's a perfect chance for them to utilize yung kanilang plays and look for possible options.
Definitely a different feeling coming from a win. Iba yung confidence na dala mo kapag panalo yung pinanggalingan mo eh. Kaya sa talo, medyo negative yung feeling, you know, may gigil factor din. And that's affecting your game.
And for sure, they still really want to hold on dito para maka-enter nga sila sa next round. So far, they got 2 wins with the 5 losses.
And if Dasmariñas wins this one, they'll be at 3-3 record. So definitely, you know, they'll climb up the standings and it won't be impossible for them to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, it's Santos able to get a bucket for Dasmariñas. As Bauan not wasting any time, it's good. And that won't go for him. Another try. Still, unlucky break from Bauan. Meanwhile, Dalatin to Dia. Mid-range jumper. That will go.
Easy bucket there.
So far, Dasmariñas still not stopping. Looking to really seal the deal early in this ball game. The Pilaga. Now it's Ravilo for 3. Unable to hit it. And you have to give props to Bauan even though sabi mo nga depleted sila. You know, they're still making those kinds of plays. They're still running down the court.
And a good fearless from that last play, although he was up against a lot of white shirts, pero unbothered just on that spin move. Kaya ngayon, although ngayon 15 points pa rin ang kailangan nilang habulin.
It looks like this guy good will be the one to carry his squad and 5 points in a row for him.
But of course, you can't solely rely on God na kailangan din talaga ng tulong dito sa kanyang mga kakampi. And this is not the usual Bauan Cafe Uno that we know, comparing it from the last season. Pero syempre alam naman natin na yung mga players na kilala natin from Bauan Cafe Uno already found their new homes from the other teams.
And you know, you're leading by a bunch then, you know, some new faces, some new names, does these kinds of things, you know, medyo nakakawala talaga ng confidence eh. As, once again, it's Shadare getting that end one, a 3-point play opportunity, of course, presented to you by Pound for Pound Fitness. Foul, count and move again from Mr. Shadare of Dasmariñas.
Great move there coming from Shadare, coming from the bench, but immediately chipping in points for Team Dasmariñas.
Shadare will complete the 3-point play. And it's back to a 15-point lead. And Shadare, what hustle from him. Meanwhile, Tamayo sends it outside. They fire from deep. That won't connect. Rebound, Angeles.
Let's see how the black shirts will try to counter.
And Dia, that guy has been great as well for Bauan, hitting those steady mid-range jumpers.
Kanina pa natin nakikita itong si Dia nga. Very effective.
Make that up just a 13-point lead, but Tamayo unable to hit that corner pocket three. The Latin has it. The hesitation, nowhere to go. Sends it to Schwan. Nowhere to go as well. Passes it to the wrong guy. Tamayo at the break, attacks the lane, scoops it up and in.
Great finish there coming from Tamayo, utilizing and making sure na got the ball and he converted a point.
Meanwhile, the Latin unable to crash his way inside.
Ganda ng effort to ni Dalaten.
Tamayo once again, 4 points in a row for Tamayo.
Tamayo, kita natin na in the 3-point area, medyo hindi niya nakakuha yung groove niya. But from those drives, he ensures that he can convert points for Team Dasmariñas.
And so far, Dasmariñas just lighting it up, giving themselves a lot of breathing room. That's good. Immediately inserted back into the lineup by Coach Henry. That's good attack. Sends it outside. Dia, another mid-range attempt. Still not missing from the in-between.
You know, I wonder what Dia ate for breakfast because he has not missed any shot from those mid-range areas yet.
You know, it's a different kind of training you will have to do kapag you want to master the 3-point shot, rather the mid-range shot. But this time, a 3-point shot coming from Te.
And sometimes pa naman, diba, they say it also varies from the court or from the ring. Pero for Dia, it seems like dito siya nag-e-ensayo.
That will definitely be the case.
I wonder how many repetitions yung ginagawa niya to be able to put up those shots.
Isipin mo, baka dito siya nagpo-practice eh, no? With the way he's shooting the basketball. But you see Good being aggressive after a steal. And he'll be shooting 2 free throws. As we see Coach Henry talking to him.
Was going up against 2 players from Team Dasmariñas but unable to finish that through. Pero at least meron siyang opportunity to redeem himself here in the free throw area.
And the lefty Good so far having 12 points, including that free throw, a chance to make it 13.
And so we only have 1 minute and 15 seconds here in the second quarter, so you might want to, you know, cut down the lead with, if possible, di ba, single digit na lang.
Yes, you don't want to enter the second half ng ganyan para kalaking lamang. Definitely, you know, easier said than done. But right now, that'll be definitely the goal for Bauan Cafe Uno.
And if you're the black shirts, that's how you would want to maximize yung mga nagiging turnovers ng Team Dasmariñas. Although it's not a lot, pero yun yung opportunity nyo para makapag-set up ng play.
Meanwhile, Good handling the basketball. Dia has it. Another mid-range attempt. And still not missing from the in-between.
So ano kayang ano nito? Ano kaya yung ginagawa niyang training? You know?
Siguro naka-blindfold siya, tapos tinira siya.
He hasn't
Something like that.
missed any shot yet. And, you know, meron pang nakadepensa sa kanya nun, pero still, unbothered on those shots.
So far, Dia having 10 points to his name, so him in good. Scoring double digits for Bauan Cafe Uno. Meanwhile, Nick Harrow getting fouled on that 3-point attempt, so that'll be 3 free throws coming up for Nick Harrow.
And the pressure is on his shoulders if he could make those 3 shots. Because if he could, magiging 11 points na lang kailangan nilang habulin.
First one is good for Mr. Harrow. 16 seconds remaining. Dasmariñas, no more fouls to give.
A lot can really happen in a quarter. And it seems like sobrang confident din ni Harrow in the free throw area. Let's see if he can make it 3 out of 3.
Well, Daphne, iba rin talaga yung confidence na nadadala pag may mga magagaling kang teammates eh. You know, mas ginagana kang maglaro and mas confident ka nang tumira because, you know, if ever you miss, someone's gonna pick up your slack. Meanwhile, Shadare has it. Now it's still with Dasmariñas, but that's a traveling violation called on T. 4.4 seconds remaining in the first half. 11-point lead for Dasma after that 3 free throws coming from Nick Harrow. And that'll be it for our first half. It's 45-34. What a fast-paced first half it has been for both teams, as Dasmariñas able to end this first half at an 11-point lead, 45-34. Once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Jr. MPBL, and we shall return for more action.
I'm here with Assistant Coach Julio Barredo of Team Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo Hoops. Good morning, Coach. It's nice to have you here. Coach, so far, strong start ang pinapakita ng team ninyo. Anong klaseng preparation po ba ang binigay ninyo sa team ninyo?
Pinipilit namin na maging regular yung practices namin kahit na busy na yung mga bata sa kanya-kanyang school. So ginagawa namin ang paraan na every other day, at least twice to thrice a week, makapag-practice kami para hindi sila natitenga, para tuloy-tuloy yung development nila.
And so far, Coach Julio, mukhang nagpe-pay off yung ganong balance na meron po. Coach, for sure may mga nanonood sa inyo. Ito po yung chance na bumati sa kanila.
Binabati namin si Coach Ryan Dalosa, ang aming head coach at ang team owner, ang kanyang may bahay na si Mami Cecil Dalosa, ang buong Don Pacundo Sportswear at ang lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa amin, ang lahat ng aming mga sponsor. Ayan, medyo na mental block ako doon. Right.
Thank you so much, Coach Julio, and good luck po sa team ninyo. More of this intense basketball action when we return.
Manny Pacquiao's Jr. MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
Wing Bowl, it's like coming home. Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
And at the half, it's 45-34. Once again, an 11-point gap in favor of Dasmariñas as they lit it up in that first quarter, able to get a 8-0 run to start the game. But Bauan naman quick to answer back. Of course, having the likes of Good and Dia scoring from around the court and giving Bauan, their team, a chance. So far, Dia having 10 points. Ito namang si Good, 13 points for Bauan. Of course, let's not forget Zaqueo De Latin scoring 3 points as well. Ito namang Dasmariñas, so far it's Odwin Tamayo scoring, leading the scoring column with 9 points. Ito namang Bartolome, 8 points for him. Itong si Di Masayaw has 6 points as well. Also, definitely contributed to that 8-0 run rather in the start. So definitely Dasmariñas having that confidence, again coming from a W. But if you're Bauan, you have the legs of Good, you have Dia doing wonders for your team, so it's not yet over, it's far from over. As Bauan still has a chance to get back into this one, only an 11-point lead. And we head into our second half in a while. And again, leading the scoring for the whole game, it's Good with 13 points. So far, it's only him and Dia in double figures, as Dia has 10, along with 4 boards as well. Ito naman si Good, 3 boards as well and 1 dime. So 2 of those guys, hopefully the guys to carry Bauan into a win. But right now, Dasmariñas will have the first possession of our second half. So no Tamayo to start the second half.
But for sure, itong ibang players from Team Dasmariñas will be up to that challenge na tumulong din para sa koponan nila.
So it's only Shadare from Dasmariñas who was inserted into this lineup, who played most of the minutes in that first half. So again, yun yung sinasabi mong Daphne, na luxury of having a lot of players in your roster present in today's game.
Paglalaroan talaga kung sino yung pwede mong ipasok. Meanwhile, that's the struggle of Team Bauan.
Right now, it's Martin drawing himself a foul, so that'll be 2 free throws coming up for him. Almost a minute gone by in our third period. So far, itong si Martin, 3 points to his name. Make that 4 points. Averaging almost 14 minutes of action. We'll definitely see a lot of minutes. As again, Bauan having a depleted lineup. Goes 2 out of 2.
And just like that, the lead is cut down by just 9 points, single digit.
Corner 3, that is good, courtesy of number 14, that is Aldrin J. Velez.
I think he immediately heard me na kung gusto talaga nila na i-continue na i-dominate itong larong ito.
And after that 3-pointer from Velez, he makes it, or he returns it to a 12-point lead as we take another look. Nothing but the bottom of the hoop as we head into this Nature Spring timeout. Under 9 minutes remaining in our third period. Back to the action right here after that Nature Spring timeout. Once again, it's a 12-point lead for Dasmariñas. Don Pacundo hoops. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Good. Sends it to the corner. Dia. Another try. That time it was a floater, not a jump shot.
And first in the shot there, but coming from a floater for Dia. But I guess he deserves naman na magkaroon lang ng attempt from that last play with how he performed during the first half. Very effective in his mid-range jumpers.
So far, Zaccheo Chris Dalatin quiet in this ball game. Of course, averaging 10 points per game, but right now, only scoring 3 points. As possession going back to Bauan after a turnover from Dasma. Good. Handles the leather. For Bauan, nowhere to go. Sends it to Angeles. Now inside. Good find. That was Martin. He loses the leather, so possession going back to Dasmariñas Don Pacundo hoops.
Still, that was a great eye coming from Angeles. Talaga minsan, you would say that a player is really great kung maganda talaga yung vision niya na makikita niya kung sino yung libre na kakampi niya.
You gotta love the unselfishness of these players. But that time it's a miss from Velez. He gets it back though, and still won't go for him at the third attempt. He sent it outside. T, their fourth attempt. Still won't go. Shadare, fifth attempt, finally.
Shadare cleaning up the mess made by his teammates.
Meanwhile, Shadare diving for the basketball, able to save it. What a move! That is uncompleted by Velez.
Great move, but unable to finish there.
And good, able to answer back with an off-the-glass move. So we're back into a 12-point lead. Velez now to his teammate at the corner. Inside, one-hander, that won't go. Good, not wasting any time. He attacks, but will lose the basketball. As here comes T. Or rather, that was Velez drawing himself a foul, so that's 2 freebies coming up for Aldrin Velez.
Still, let's appreciate how Velez trying to remain calm, going up against syempre big man. Snatching a foul from that last play.
Talk about having heart over height. Not fearing anyone, including the big man of the other team. But right now, as Aldrin Velez takes his free throws, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Pound for Pound Fitness, Doride Bola ng Pinoy, Pound Active, Wing Bowl, Nature Spring, Jinky Skin, Chris Jacobs, and Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava. Thank you very much to our sponsors.
But I'd say na nakita din natin yung big adjustments na ginagawa dito ni Coach Henry with his team. Knowing na 10 lang sila, he needs to utilize that one. Pero na-cut down nila yung lead compared to what happened during the first quarter.
It's definitely a new profound challenge on the side of the coach. That's definitely not an easy job for him to use his players in a limited way. Of course, sana yan for sure na laging complete ang kanyang roster. But perhaps a special case for today's ball game. So a warning on the bench of Dasmariñas for improper bench decorum as Bauan having possession. Angeles, the spin. Not that time, says Michael Alex. Meanwhile, Dalatin try to save it, and he does. Dalatin has it. Attacks the lane. Able to score for Bauan.
Dalatin with that strong drive.
5 points and 7 boards for him so far. T. And a steal right here. Martin attacks the lane. Almost an end one, but not quite, as he'll be shooting 2 freebies.
Medyo kinapos doon from that finish itong si Martin, but still Coming from, kumbaga inagaw niya lang yung bola from that last play.
Definitely still props to his hustle, as he has a chance to cut the lead to just 10 if he makes both free throws. Martin will miss that first freebie. Second one on its way for John Mark Martin. Will go 0 out of 2.
Sayang yung high efficiency rate na meron ditong Team Bauan in terms of their free throw, coming from that 88%.
So right now, possession going back to Bauan. Last touch on Dasmariñas. Martin inside. He attacks, escaping his defender but unable to finish. Meanwhile, Dasmariñas picks it up out of bounds. Possession staying with Dasmariñas.
Great effort there para kay Good in trying to steal the ball. And so far, Good with already 15 points here on this game.
So Sernias back in the basketball game. Legaspi hands it off to Cruz. Shot clock down to 11. One-hander. That won't fall. Estomo grabs the board. And here comes Delaten. Attacking the lane. Unable to score on the break. Will get it back though after that board from Schwan. 3-point attempt, no good. Martin, 2 points for him.
Talaga yung kailangan kung minsan, no? Nakaabang ka lang from those para maging easy bucket yon and just really, clean up the mess na ginagawa ng teammates mo.
And that's what he definitely did. He cleaned up the Latin's mess and able to cut the lead to just 10. 52-42 under 4 minutes remaining in our third period. We return to the action right here once again. It's only a 10-point lead for Dasmariñas after Martin able to score 2 points for Bauan Cafe Uno.
But so I wonder what happened to Alex, who's currently on the sidelines at mukhang inaasikaso nga siya ng coaching staff nitong Team Dasmariñas.
Meanwhile, Bartolome able to get an and one 3-point play opportunity for him. Of course, presented to you by no other than Pound for Pound Fitness Foul Counted Move.
And Bauan Cafe Uno would really have to be extra careful rather. Since kanina nga, yung lamang ng Dasmariñas ay 10 points na lang. Ayun, aakyat ulit with 12.
So far, 10 points for John Cyrus Bartolome. Meanwhile, he gets the steal. Here comes Dasmariñas. Castillejo. Stops at the corner, sends it outside to Sernias. Now it's Opiar. Now Sernias. Inside to Bartolome. Outside once again, Opiar. Drop pass, Bartolome to Castillejo. And good execution coming from Dasmariñas.
Every time na iikot talaga ang bola and maximize that 24 shot clock, magagaranti mo na puntos ang mabibigay ng ganon. We just saw how unselfish itong naging play ng Team Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo Hoops.
Meanwhile, Delaten sends it to Good. He's back in the ball game. Good, will settle for a three. Will not make it. Make it a 14-point lead. As it's over 2 minutes remaining in our third period. Sernias. Now it's Opiar. Castillejo. Out to Sernias once again. He's guarded by Estomo this time. It's Opiar. Now at the corner, Legaspi. Tough shot, that goes in anyway.
Much needed point here for Team Dasmariñas. Although, they're dictating this game, pero syempre, kung kayo lamang gusto mo talaga i-make sure na ma-maintain or masusustain nyo yung lead na yon.
It's back to a 14-point lead.
And so, kita natin gumagana talaga itong Team Dasmariñas, although wala pa itong si Tamayo inside the court.
And they're leading, one of their leading scorers actually with 9 points. Just next to Bartolome, who recently got 10.
Speaking of, Odwin Tamayo comes in.
With 21 seconds to shoot for Bauan. Good, they want to bring it out. Finds Estomo. Rather, that was Martin. Now it's Dalaten. The pick from Schwan. Basket and one for Zakeo Chris Dalaten. A chance to make it a 4-point play.
Enormous shot there coming from Dalaten, utilizing that pick and hitting that three. And now a chance to have an easy 4-point game. But unable to get that free throw.
Meanwhile, Castillejo, no look pass to Sernias. Basket and one on the other side as well. This time it's Dasmariñas on the scoring column. As Sernias a chance to make it a 3-point play. It's a pound-for-pound fitness foul, counted move.
And that's an immediate response there for the white shirts. There's no room for complacency, knowing na coming from that 3-point shot. And ngayon naman, na natin kung makapag-end one. Itong si Sernias.
They're unable to hit it. Nonetheless, it's a 13-point lead for Dasmariñas. Good. A bunch of crossovers inside. Schwan back to Good. But that's a foul going to be called on Tamayo. So that'll be the last foul to give of Dasmariñas in this quarter. Or rather, that was called on Bartolome. 14 seconds to shoot. Dolor inside to Schwan. Unable to put it in. Another try. And this time it's Dolor. Sends it out. Dalaten attacks the lane. Good defense from Tamayo.
Hustle D there coming from Tamayo. If you're here, you would really see yung kanyang facial expression, ensuring na hindi makakapuntos doon.
Speaking of, Tamayo scoops it up and in.
What a move there coming from Tamayo. From that steal, and then right now scoring a bucket.
And more importantly, able to give himself and his team a 15-point lead as we entered the fourth quarter in just a little bit. So our score after the end of 3 quarters is 62-47. Dasmariñas up by a bunch, having room to breathe. As we'll return, and once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Junior MPBL would like to thank the following sponsors. Doride, Bola ng Pinoy, the official ball of Junior MPBL. Pound for pound, Biliga Red Sea. Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Don Benito's, Pambansang Kasaba. Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Back to the action right here as we head into our fourth and final period. Once again, it's 62 to 47. Dasmariñas having a lot of room to breathe. But if you're Bauan, you don't want to give up anytime soon. So here comes Bauan Cafe Uno. Dolor. Losing the leather, but last touch called on David Legaspi. 9 seconds to shoot. Inside, Martin. That's another whistle from our referees, so that's a foul going to be called against Dasmariñas.
That's an early foul on the side of the white shirts.
So Dia now gives it to Good. Picked up by John Russell Cernias. Good. Tried to save it, but that's out of bounds. Possession going to Dasmariñas.
And I'd say na itong si Dia medyo naging silent dito sa ating second half compared to how he was very spectacular during the first 2 quarters.
Meanwhile, Legaspi has it. This time it's Castillejo at the corner. Fires a 3. Unable to hit it. So far has been quiet in this ball game. Don Louis Good. What a pass and what a find to Oyo Dolor.
Almost a turnover there. Guarded by 2 white shirts, but still, ganda ng anticipation doon ng Bauan.
Meanwhile, Tamayo has it. Enters the paint, will scoop it up, and that's good.
Bauan, here for Bauan, magiging challenge talaga nila kung paano masastop itong si Tamayo.
Definitely one of the key players itong Dasmariñas, having the length and the initiative to take those kinds of shots. As Castillejo sends it to Bartolome. Finds someone inside, but seems to be an offensive foul called on Dasmariñas.
It was too intense from that last play. Kaya natawagan na lang ng offensive foul yon.
So a nature spring timeout going to be called right here by Bauan Cafe Uno as we take another look in this attack coming from Odwin Daniel Tamayo. So it's 64 to 49. 8 minutes left in our fourth and final period. Back to the action right here after that nature spring timeout. It's a 15-point lead as Bauan fighting for dear life. Good against Cernias. Now it's Dalaten. Will fire from deep. Unable to hit it. Tamayo grabs the board to John Russell Cernias. Another good execution in the fast break by Dasmariñas.
Cernias with that finish. You know, not the tallest player, but we just saw how talon niya talaga, yung leap niya.
Speaking of Cernias, what a pass to Castillejo. And again, those are the kinds of plays done by championship teams.
Castillejo, not a new player to us. Ever since last year, grabe na rin yung ingay na pinapakita nitong si Castillejo.
Safe to say, Castillejo, you know, will have to really level up his game. If he was good in the 14 under division, it's a different story here in the 16 and under division.
Ibang level of game na kung kailangan na ipakita niya.
Fairly quiet in this ball game. Only 4 points for him, 2 boards and 2 dimes as well. Meanwhile, Castillejo make that 3 boards. But that is a steal coming from Dalaten. He brings it down as they're down by now 19.
You know,
What a move!
You know, Cho, aside from struggling in terms of the offensive side, para dito sa Bauan Cafe Uno, what's also hurting them is their turnovers. Imagine producing 23 compared dun sa 9 na binibigay dito ng Team Dasmariñas. So, ang daming conversion ng points nito Team Dasmariñas from those errors made by Team Bauan.
Speaking of errors being made, late response that time from Angeles as Tamayo, another end one, 3-point play opportunity as he continues to attack the basket fearlessly. Good for this pound for pound fitness foul, counted move. So far, odd win. Daniel Tamayo, 15 points to his name. Definitely a candidate for best player of the game as he completes that 3-point play. 16 points for him now.
And so now he would have to sit down for a while and give chance for some of his teammates to also chip in points here on this game with only 6 minutes and 35 seconds on this game.
Don Louis good. Won't hit that three, able to save it, but picked up by Legazpi. Here comes Dapilaga. This direction, able to convert at the break.
That was a famous Pinoy step.
Meanwhile, here comes Legazpi. And that's a foul going to be called on Bauan Cafe Uno. So both teams now at 2 fouls each. And Dasmariñas now up by a really big margin.
Xuan would love to challenge sana but apparently that was a foul. Medyo nasobrahan na yung kanyang depensa doon.
Dapilaga from deep will hit it from downtown.
That was a clean three coming from Robert.
So it's a 29-point lead for Dasmariñas. Talk about dominating your opponent.
But during the third quarter, we also saw how Bauan Cafe Uno was trying to hold on and try to create a different story from that first half happening. But apparently, it was not enough. And nakita din natin na itong Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo Hoops, they were very determined to really take control or take over this game.
And I think it's safe to say itong Bauan Cafe Uno, they were just simply undermanned in this ball game. Ito namang Dasmariñas, strength in numbers talaga ang pinanghawakan nila Daphne.
And from that halftime interview we had from Coach Julio, narinig kasi din natin yung kanilang consistency in terms of their training na 3 times a week. Although they're still juggling yung kanilang school and itong ang liga, nakita natin yung kanilang discipline at yung balance between being a student and being an athlete.
And that's what you love to see. Meanwhile, we have only under 5 minutes remaining in this fourth period. So still, Bauan, you know, nothing's impossible. But looks like it's gonna be improbable for them to mount a comeback. Lalo na with the way Dasmariñas have been playing. But still, we see good and Dia in the floor. Safe to say Coach Henry still trying to push possibly for a comeback.
It's completely a different game comparing it to what happened during the 14 under. Yung 14 under, grab, parang binigay sa atin na game. Close match.
Well, sinabi mo naman, no, it's a different story talaga. The only thing in common in the 16 and under and 14 and under division, parehas sila hoping for a playoff spot. But looks like Bauan will want, or rather itong Dasmariñas, wanting to continue their winning ways. But right now, let's settle for a nature spring timeout called by Bauan Cafe Uno. It's 78-49, over 4 minutes remaining in the fourth and final period. Back to the action right here after that Nature Spring timeout. Over 4 minutes remaining in the fourth and final period. And so far, Dasmariñas still putting up a strong lineup. Still, we can see Legazpi, Castillejo, and Tapilaga. And they're not yet done punishing their opponents.
Castillejo with the 3. I think he just heard that we were talking about on how he would need and have to elevate his game coming from the 14 under in the previous season and this time around here in the 16 under division.
And definitely he does have the tools to be a great player in the 16 and under division. As the shooting definitely developed his body during that off-season break. But right now, you will take a rest as we only see Tapilaga in the court. One of their main guys. The other guys looks like other bench guys now for Dasmariñas.
And take note to all of our viewers out there who's watching us via our live stream channels. Well, this is just our second game for today. We also got the 18 under for Dasmariñas and Bauan, and even our MPBL D-League. Later on, 2 games will happen this afternoon.
So definitely make sure to tune into that. Again, we've talked about the MPBL D-League. You know, it's possibly the ticket of the 21-year-olds to the pros. You know, possibly. It's not impossible. And at the end of the day, it's just opportunities being given to, you know, the basketball enthusiasts in our country. So definitely make sure to stay tuned to that. Definitely, you know, going to be a blast of a season in our junior MPBL D-League. 3 minutes remaining. So far, Bauan still doing their best, but no more Don Louis good. But still, Dia in the floor. It looks like Dasmariñas will look to just burn the clock right here. As there's just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth and final period.
Isang buwan na ang kalamangan dito ng Team Dasmariñas. And it all paid off coming from that strong start they had and that 8-0 run.
So assuming that Bauan Cafe Uno will lose this ball game, they will go down to 2-5. And ito namang Don Pacundo Hoops Dasmariñas. They will have a record of 3-3. So that's better than what they have right now. And again, if they have a record like that, it's not impossible for them to nab a playoff spot, hopefully at the end of the season. But still, quite a long journey left if they want to win it all.
But that will be traveling violation on the side of the white shirts.
Three-point lead for Dasmariñas. It's still gonna be a good opportunity for them, you know, because yung mga ganitong klaseng simulations, no, you really cannot replicate it in a training scrimmage. So you really have to make the most out of these types of things kahit sabihin pa nating matatalo ka.
But still, let's appreciate how Bauan Cafe Uno still, you know, making sure na every time na makukuha nila yung bola. So try pa rin talaga nila i-convert yung point although they're down on this game. But an air ball there.
Definitely it's gonna be a moral win for them. And they'll have chances to, you know, practice their plays, practice how they play as a team for the remaining minutes. But as of right now, I think safe to say Dasmariñas will get the last laugh in this one. Again, they're gonna be up 3-3. So hopefully they're gonna get that winning record.
That was a funny reaction there coming from Ivan. He was just so shocked. Baga, hindi niya in-expect na may ganong pito.
So let's take a look in the South Division standings. So far, Leyte on top with a 3-0 record. Ito namang Dasmariñas currently at 7, so they're in a good position right now. But if they're gonna go 3-3, they're gonna climb up to the 6th spot. Definitely a better position. Ito namang kalaban nila na Bauan. Cafe Uno, they're at 9. That's 2-4. So far playing 6 games already in this season. So certainly looking to have a better season, but not bad at all. So right now, we head into the last minute of our 4th and final period. And again, stay tuned. We still have 3 more games after this one. 1 more in the 18 and under division for Bauan Cafe Uno and their opponents Dasmariñas. Then we'll be having some junior MPBL D-League action in the 21 and under division.
So kita din natin dito sa side ng Team Dasmariñas. All smiles, not just for the coaching staff, but of course, as well as with the players. Very light yung kanilang mood.
Definitely will be going home happy. Mahirap yun, Daphne, no? Malayo yung panggagalingan mo, tapos talo ka pa. Yun yung medyo challenge eh. Pero medyo sulit yung gigising ka ng maaga. Gagagaling ka sa malayo, babiyahe ka. Uuwi kang masaya.
Kumbaga gusto mo talaga mag-pay off yung paggising mo ng gano'n, yung naging sacrifice mo on that day.
Well, that is certainly the life of an athlete. Full of sacrifices. Full of gigising ka ng maaga kahit ayaw mo. Tatakbo ka kahit ayaw mo.
And imagine how challenging it is for them knowing na Mondays to Fridays, estudyante sila. Hindi ka lang naman basta pumapasok sa school, may mga requirements ka rin, may assignments ka din. And then you also have to juggle yung trainings, for sure, meron din yan.
And at such a young age pa, di ba? Where I'm sure hindi rin naman sila experts in doing that.
Yeah.
They're still learning how to really, manage their time, their priorities. So, definitely not an easy thing to be an athlete.
But I think that will really mold them kung sino yung gusto nila maging talaga when they grow up. That will mold them to become a better individual, better player, and a better student.
But right now, it's just 35 seconds remaining. But if you're Bauan, again, it's not the end of the world. You're at the 9th place. And if you lose this ball game, you're 2-5. You're going down to 10th. But still, so, bunch of games left. Not the end of the world. But still, you will have to learn from your mistakes in this ball game. You will have to do your assignments if you really want to have a chance to enter the playoffs. And a lot of candidates actually for the side of Dasmariñas to whom will give our best player of the game. But if you've watched our ball game, it's really quite obvious sino ba yung gumagawa talaga on the side of Dasmariñas.
Every time talaga na ipapasok ng coaches, andun yung confidence, yung kumpiyansa niya to contribute.
And syempre, to be interviewed yun by you. So it's 83-56. Different feeling certainly for Dasmariñas to win by a huge margin. 10 seconds remaining. Looks like they will just burn the clock right here. Safe to say Dasmariñas getting this W, 83-56. Congratulations to the boys from Dasmariñas. And if you're Bauan, a lot of chances to bounce back, but as of right now, last snap belonging to Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo hoops. Again, it's 83-56, our final score. And again, talking about the best player of the game in this 16 and under matchup, if you've watched the ball game, certainly, quite obvious who made the noise, whom did the spectacular moves on the side of Dasmariñas. But of course, we will not reveal it. It will be Daphne, the one to interview him, the one to reveal our Don Benito's best player of the game. And without further ado, let's now turn it over to Miss Daphne Cristobal to introduce us to him.
I'm here with our player of the game, Aldwin Tamayo. Congratulations to you and your team. You scored 16 points sa larong ito. Aldwin, itong panalong to parang naging madali lang sa inyo. Pero pwede mo bang ibahagi sa amin kung paano ba yung mga pinagdaanan yung mahihirap bago nyo makuha tong panalong to?
Yung 2T defense po nila, nakinig lang po kami sa mga coaches po namin, and sabi po ng mga coaches namin, sabi po ni Coach JP po na magtiwala lang po sa defense, pati po defense first bago offense, and puro atake lang po kasi konti lang po yung mga players nila.
And nakita naman natin yung depensa nyo, yung disiplina nyo sa depensa. Aldwin, meron ka bang gustong pasalamatan or batiin ngayon?
Shoutout po kay Coach Ryan sa nagbigay po sa akin ng opportunity, and thank you po kay Tita Cecil, at supportahan nyo po yung Don Pacundo Sportswear. Shoutout po sa mga coaching staff po namin, Coach Alvin, Coach JP, Coach Jordan, and shoutout po kay Nadine Esguera, and shoutout po sa mga family ko, kay Nina Tamayo, Butchoy Tamayo, and Alma Tamayo, and Atasha. Yun lang po.
Once again, congratulations to you and your team. At syempre, magpasalamat din tayo sa Don Benitos for providing our player of the game, this Filipino delicacy. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasama. Back to you, Cho.
Thank you very much, Daphne. Once again, Aldwin Daniel Tabayo scoring 16 points, carrying his squad into that easy W. Congratulations once again to Dasmariñas, Don Pacundo groups. But still, we have one more game between these two. It's time for the 18 and under matchup. So it's Dasmariñas still, Don Pacundo hoops going up against Bauan Cafe Uno. And this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Sumuko sa gustong gawin, isang pangarap, isang tagumpay. Kabayad pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
Wing Bowl, it's like coming home. Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,